Greetings, my friends, to week 11, the last week in the 11-week series, Creating Your Inner Temple meditation series that I've been offering. And it's gone by pretty quickly. We started, I think, June the 7th, I believe. And it's been 11 weeks, 77 days. And if you followed me on this journey or even got in a couple weeks, then I hope it's been of value or service in some way to inspire or uplift or provide you a sense of peace in the eye of the storm in the outer world that is unfolding day to day, the uncertainty. And so this is really, I've been on this journey with you for this 11 weeks, and I've never, done a journey particularly like this before. So it's been quite interesting for me personally also. Sorry, my foot is stuck. As I consider where I anchor my awareness from day to day, moment to moment. So part of my challenge, of many, but one particular challenge is I'm on my journey of self-evolution and healing. I have wanted to ground my awareness in this 3D world because it's all I've known, right? Many people live purely in the physical body, and that everything we see with our eyes and senses is the most real thing. But there's always been a part of me throughout my entire life that has known on some outer, outer level that there's way more to this life that's unfolding and the life force that is moving through everything. The Shiva that's doing the dance in the materialism of the Shakti. And so through my own journey and spiritual exploration and seeking, it's just now, after 20 years or even more, that I've gotten clear that the only place that I can anchor my awareness is in consciousness. And when I say consciousness, I mean the 0 point field. I mean pure possibility, that place between duality, which is the imagination. It is all possibility. It is the field of life. And so part of my challenge is I keep wanting to ground myself in this material world, and this is not the place. This is the outcome of consciousness. It is not the source, So when people, including myself, tend to orientate toward the outside world where they anchor themselves in physical things, there's a level of separation from true self. So as we come this week to the final week, and we're hitting on the 7th chakra, which is the gateway to divinity, to cosmic consciousness, to self-realization, to, I guess the seed phrase, which is I am knower, I am knowing, I know divine truth. And this is what the yogis talk about as Sat Chitananda, 3 syllables, Sat, truth, Chit, C-H-I-T, is consciousness, and Ananda is bliss. So when the consciousness is sitting in truth, there is only bliss, and this is the seventh chakra of connecting to divine source. This is the place where we have aha moments, epiphanies, realizations, where artists and inventors and yogis connect to that divine inspiration, because we are not separate from it. It is who we are. And so this process of living is just a coming to terms, like a fading away of ignorance. And it's a slow process, just as the sun rises. And as the sun rises, it doesn't happen all at once. It slowly dawns on us. And as it does, ignorance, which is misidentification of the self, slowly begins to fade away as we realize our true self, our true connection to this life. And so in the preview video, I had talked about the relationship, like what is true knowledge. And I, real quickly, if you want to know more, you can watch the preview. But I talked about the construction of knowledge, and not the knowledge that we learn at school. That's objective knowledge. But the knowledge that the yogis presented in their anatomy of our energetic self. Because, I guess the way the yogis brought it, or created it, or described it, was the 5 different energy bodies, which have to do with, gross levels to higher levels, or more subtle levels, or vibration or frequency that arise. It's the way that life force becomes integrated into physical form. So we have our food body, or our prana body. Then we have our prana body. Did I say that? I'm sorry. We have our food body, and then we have our prana body, which is our energy. Then we have our mind, or our intellect. I can't remember. Our mind, our intellect, and then our bliss. I think that's how it goes. But so many systems have different versions of this. If you check out energy healing, they talk about the 4 bodies. Ancient studies of, Chinese or Eastern philosophies about, the meridians in the body, have different versions of this, depending on the lens that they're looking through. But when you really just, get down to it, it's that we're more than just this physical body. And so the relationship to true knowledge is what reveals our true identity to ourself. So it's the three-part relationship to knowledge. We have the knower, or the mind, which knows the world through the senses. The known, which is the objective world that we see with our senses. And then there is the witness consciousness that begins to observe not only the object arising in the mind, but the mind observing it. So knowledge is no longer one pointed out into the world. I know this because I see it. I know it because I feel it through my senses, or I experience it through my senses. It's actually, the object is known through the mind, and it becomes 2 parts then. We have the subject observing the object. If we didn't have the knower, there would be no object to perceive. So the 2 aspects of knowledge arise that are the reciprocal relationship of knowing. And then out of that, there's a 3rd position possible, which is the knowledge, which is your relationship to it. You are the observer, the neutral observer of the subject and the object outside of that, which is awareness itself. Awareness, being conscious of its own knowing. So this is where we're going with the 7th chakra. The Sahasrara Chakra, the 1,000-petal lotus, opens up. The color is usually traditionally considered white or violet, like all colors or no color. So this life is simply learning to play in energy, learning to know that you are a play of energy, And once you begin to pull out the lens of your experience, then it's no longer a materialistic experience. It is whatever you want to call it. I refrain from using the word spirit because there's a religious connotation connected to it, and this isn't about religion. This is just about like our nature, and it has been taken and religiousized and appropriated for other people's purposes, and has been confined to divinity, has been defined to churches and certain groups that can access the divine, when in actuality we are divinity living in bodies, and divinity is everywhere. It's the principle of creation. It's the principle of life unfolding from moment to moment. It can't be confined into a church or a temple or to a group of chosen people, because we're all the chosen ones. And so part of my reason for creating this 11-week series, Creating Your Inner Temple, was to bring or suggest, some practices for people to get back online to their own connection to life source, which is your birthright. So without any further ado, I'm going to begin our last meditation. And it's not the last one, but I'm feeling a little bit attached, I guess, to this last of the 11. But it's really, not. I'm just being sentimental. So let's go ahead and get in a meditative position, either in a chair, so your back's supported, or you can sit on the floor, whatever's most comfortable for you, as long as you can keep your spine straight and your shoulders relaxed. You can go ahead and let your eyes close softly. Taking a couple of deep breaths all the way down into your abdomen, and then breathing out perhaps in an audible way so you can really arrive in your body here today, right now. Turning your attention within to that inner world. Feeling your awareness in your body. The weight of gravity holding you in your chair or on the floor. Letting your body be supported and held. And I invite you to bring to your mind's eye, your imagination, your resource of creativity, your temple that we created in week 1. And if you're just joining us now, your temple is any place, whether it's a real place that you've visited before or a place in your imagination that is totally created as your sanctuary for your higher consciousness. It can be a place in nature. It can be a beautiful grand building of some type. It can be a humble hut in the forest. Whatever feels safe and authentic and peaceful to you as a place for your spirit, as a place of your higher self to reside in. And go ahead and bring in that inner temple. Locate a comfortable place for you to be seated. Special chair or area where you feel at home. Go ahead and to take a moment to locate your inner altar, a place that you can leave offerings to your self, to your higher self, a place where you can put things that are particularly special to you as a reminder of your own divinity, your own magnificence, your own expansiveness. I invite you now to bring in your higher self. This is the wisest, most loving, most balanced and harmonious version of you. Taking a moment to connect. And this higher self is an expression of the seventh chakra. It is where the material meets the spiritual or the divine, where the cosmic energy of life source is integrated into the physicalness of your body, the physical expression of your life. And I invite you now to go ahead and drop a grounding cord from your root chakra at the base of your spine, all the way through the floor into the ground, through all the layers of the earth, just like a root of a tree, going all the way down to the crystal core of Mother Gaia, connecting there. Rooted down in her earth and her soil, gathering nutrients and support from her, as she is an electromagnetic being just like you. And I invite you to drop anything down the grounding cord that you do not need to be here, whether it's a thought, an emotion, sensation, a feeling. Just drop it all down the cord, and Mother Earth Gaia is an expert master in regenerating, recycling, and repurposing life energy. And I invite you to imagine the life energy coming down, the cosmic source, Father Sky energy coming through your seventh chakra at the top of your head. This 1,000-petaled lotus coming down to then your sixth chakra in the back of your head, down to the back of your spine to your fifth chakra, your throat chakra, which is blue, turquoise. Lighting up and going down to your heart chakra through the back of your spine, lighting it up with emerald green. And as this cosmic energy comes down, it begins to spin and enliven each chakra, going down to your third chakra, your solar plexus, which is power. I am power, which is yellow, lighting up and spinning. A vortex of energy, which is your life energy, your information center that translates energy into physical expression. like a transmitter, adapting this energy. Now down to your second chakra, which is your sacral chakra. I am creator, which is orange. And then bringing that Father Sky energy to your root chakra, mixing with that earth energy of I am, that I am, which is your right to be here, to belong on this earth, to have a body, to have your needs met. And then we're going to funnel this energy up through the front of our body, through the same chakras. So the Father Sky energy mixing with the Mother Earth energy, shooting up from our first chakra to our second, to our third, to our fourth, to our fifth, through our arms, down, and then shooting out of our palms. So it's best to have your palms resting on your lap, face up. And then pulling that energy through our throat and our sixth chakra and all the way up back to our seventh chakra, shooting up like a fountain, pouring down all around us, cleaning, clearing, removing. This energetic fountain is pouring down our entire auric field, back down into the grounding cord. And so this is cleansing and clearing of each of our chakras, using the energy of both the masculine and the feminine energies, that balance in the neutral point, the point of neutrality, so that we may become the neutral observer. And I invite you to bring your attention back up to the seventh chakra at the top of your head. This is the chakra related to knowledge, your ability to know for yourself, your ability to have authority as a knower, to trust your knowing. When you begin to really rest and let yourself sink into the trust of your own source of knowledge, straight from source. Continuing to breathe, and just noticing anything that is there that might no longer serve you, as I don't know, I don't trust myself, I'm not sure if I have the right to speak my truth, to know my truth, and then to speak it. I release all fear of knowing the truth. I release all fear of knowing my truth. I release any fear of around ridicule of being a knower, self-righteousness, egotism, arrogance. All of that is released down through your grounding cord as you continue to breathe. And then just taking these last few minutes to bring to yourself anything that you're needing from your higher self. Whether it's a hug, whether it's recognition for your struggle, for your hardship, maybe just a sense of peace and love and belonging, acceptance, self-acceptance of who you really are, a loving receptivity of your true self in all aspects of your consciousness, as a identity in this material world, as a creator, as someone who has power, has the right to have power, has the right to exercise power, as someone who is loved and loving. I am love. As someone who speaks this love, who speaks their truth, as all these different messages, all these different aspects of our consciousness are integrated through every chakra, all the way up to our sixth chakra. I am a seer, I am visionary, I can trust my vision, I see the truth, I see my truth. All the way to the seventh chakra, I know that I am truth, I know that I am divine truth, I know my divine truth. Bringing all these different layers of your consciousness into an integrated whole at the top of your head, at the 1,000-petaled lotus. Knowing that you have created your inner temple and you have activated all parts of your consciousness, all parts of your awareness. You are energetic house of light. You are light in motion, light in energy. Light as energy. Knowing that you can call back all aspects of yourself throughout time and space, through all dimensions, any parts that you have left behind, rejected, betrayed, calling all aspects and fractals of your awareness back to this moment, into your inner temple, receiving them with a heart filled with gratitude and thanksgiving. As you continue to remember the truth of who you are, what you came here to do, what you came here to be on this planet for the good of all other beings. Continuing to breathe. Take a moment now to connect with your higher self. Asking your higher self if there's anything that she or he needs to share with you today or would like to share with you. A special message, some bit of encouragement or insight into your path, into your journey, into your mission here on the earth. Knowing that you can come back to this space and continue this practice at any time. to continue to call back all aspects of your light, your consciousness, connecting to your higher self, listening to your inner truth, your inner wisdom, your inner knowing. Take a moment to recognize your altar, perhaps with a bow or maybe an offering, or maybe your higher self has an offering for your altar, a sign or a symbol, an object, something that is meaningful to you as a reminder. And then go ahead and thank your higher self again, giving a farewell hug, farewell greeting. Dropping your grounding cord into the earth, where it will be renewed, regenerated, and repurposed. Restored. And when you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your feet and your fingers, and bringing your attention slowly back into the room. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right. Wow. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. It has been quite an adventure for me as well, and I know it will continue to develop and produce fruits of awareness in my own consciousness as I continue to grow and evolve, as you continue to grow and evolve. And next for me is, as we get ready to turn the corner into fall, is really deciding what's next as far as what my own growth, and then how that is expressed in how I offer it to people. And so I've been looking at doing this, creating this quantum abundance course, but I don't know if that's the right title, because a lot of times when people hear the word abundance, they think of material wealth, and of course that's a byproduct of this, but it's not necessarily the like founding objective for the course. The real course is to get real about who you are, to come into the fullness of who you meant, who you came here to be, to connect to all the aspects of yourself and be able to embody them. Embodied in this way, it's an embodied abundance, because we're taking all of our gifts and talents and we're fully owning them. We're giving ourselves permission to own them and then express them out into the world in the fullness of, who we came here to be, and exploring that outside of all the social restrictions, all the ways we've been conditioned to limit ourselves and make ourselves small and utilize only a portion of our consciousness that can be utilized in the material world in a specific way. And so now I am really longing to offer the tools and the methods and the yeah, I guess the practices that I have been gathering and honing for years, these energetic tools for complete self-mastery and living an embodied life, which is a life of the being fully expressed, being the fullness of the love and the contribution that we have to offer others, being conscious creators, co-creators of our world, practicing a level of soul alchemy to where we are burning the false beliefs of this 3D matrix that we've been living in, which is based on separation, fear, and lack. And so it's a stepping into a total new identity, one that is grounded in source, and this infinite awareness and consciousness, which is our very nature. And so I don't know exactly what I want to call that yet. I don't know if there's a name, but if you think of anything, let me know. I'm taking suggestions. All right, my loves, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. And I will continue to produce some sort of content to share with you on a weekly basis. So if you get a minute and you're here on Facebook, please like and share. If you're on my YouTube channel, please like, share, and subscribe if that feels good to you. I really appreciate your support. I'm really, this year, stepping into the fullness of my power and sharing my message, and sharing my light and my model of what it means to live a fully embodied life. So you can check out some of my other videos also on the Self-Reparenting Project, which has to do with healing a lot of the trauma and the wounds that a lot of us don't even have any idea of how deep they go until you start doing the work, and how that affects our relationship to this life force, to the freedom that we have. And so I'm really about creating, a world of freedom, the freedom to be. Yeah. All right, my loves. Until next time, remember what a valuable treasure you are. Namaste, and bye for now.